Good afternoon, Academy 55. It's 2:25 in the afternoon down here in the UK. On Tuesday, the 8th of October, David Kahn here looking at the Academy 55 system for and strategy using on the US 100 and the EUR USD, waiting for prices to get into the zones. As we can see, prices got into the zone here on the US 100. But what we're doing is we're waiting. I'm keeping 2,000 units because that's the equivalent of 2 pips distance between stop loss and an entry. But at 2:30, in another 5 minutes time, we have the New York Stock Exchange opening, where a lot more volume will come into the market. You'll see these candles probably get bigger and bigger as the volume creeps in. But at the moment, we have been in the sell zone. We'll check out this buy zone in a minute to see what happened, but I'm interested in what happens as of now because 4 minutes time, we've got the stock exchange opening. So bear that in mind. It's a bit like placing a trade on a red flag. Really, because you know the volume could go the other way. But I've got to wait for the stop loss to get way down to here anyway, if indeed we do get a sell. But like I say, it may go the other way, depending on what the stock exchange thinks about this. But we're here ready and waiting just in case anything like that does happen. But I was reading the little circle of information. Wall Street set for higher open with inflation data earnings in focus. So I'm thinking, well, that sort of says it probably will be going up. But so that's a bit conflicting because we got a support and resistance zone here that I drew up on the 4-hour time frame. And we've got another sell zone up here. So we'll be in buy territory. So I don't think it's going to sell. It's going to buy, if anything, according to that information. But we will see, regardless. So we'll put it on the minute time frame. We'll put our Academy 55 on it. And just down here, we was in the buy zone. We could do that quickly. Let's see if this would have worked or not. $2,000 units, because there's not much volume before 2:30, so that's 2,000 units. So we would have got into the trade to at least there. Takes our 2% up to, got to do that, give it wriggle room. So that's the 2% there. We'll move that along a minute because it's in the way of what I want to show you guys. But that's the 2% up there. And that stems from the fact that we were in the buy zone. But right now, right, we got, let's see the volume kicking in now. Look, it really has kicked in now. And we're not even at 2:30 yet. We've got another 20 seconds to wait. And it could go the other way. But that little round circle there was saying that they think it's going to open higher. So one can assume that they would be pushing past there, but then we're in the sell zone. Right, 2:30 now. Let's see what happens. 2:30 here in the UK. And indeed, we've gone the other way now. So let's put our MT4 on. Volume kicking in now. See how you can see the volume on the sides of the candles. So let's see if it plays out for us. We're in the sell zone. We're in the sell zone area. So let's just have a look and see if we have anything of interest we could take a sell on. Don't forget, I've got to wait for that to get all the way down to there before I can get into a trade. If it does do that. Right, we've got a sell alert. See how the volume's kicking in now? Candles is getting much bigger. Giving it 2,000 units wriggle room. Because then going any closer with this amount of volume is just a bit very, very foolhardy, really. So maybe he's going to come down, and don't forget we've got a buy zone down here. So if we do get into the trade straight away, I'm going to be putting my stop loss to my entry. In respect that we are in the buy zone down here. If it does happen, it might not happen, of course, but we're in sell zone area now. See how these candles, obviously, they are a lot bigger than these ones before 2:30. Shows you the volume coming in. But with volume comes volatility, which is what we're seeing now. This is why we have to be cautious and give it a lot of wriggle room. This is a sell zone area that we saw before. I expect this with each minute of passes the 2:30 to settle down a little bit, and it'll sort of settle down a bit. Could take 10 minutes or more though for it to settle. Right, we've got a sell alert. So if it carries on down, I'll follow it down. But as soon as if we reach this area here, I'll be putting my stop loss to my entry, not taking any chances. If we ever do get that, might not happen. Because this is a buy zone area here. We know this from the trading view, but I can't switch that on at the moment because I don't want to miss what potentially could be happening now. And if we do get down to this area here, these will go red for certain, the trend line and the volume ribbon. Right, the wave has started to turn red. The volume ribbon's red. It's on the way down. Still a lot of volatility with this volume. But all of a sudden, things do happen. Once the US 100 goes, it goes. So we could find ourselves on a march down. But at the same time, we're into the buy zone, so I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to be putting my stop loss to my entry if we ever do get that far. But as you can see, that hasn't transpired. And like the little circle said, there is a higher calling for the US 100. But at the same time, we are in a sell zone. So I'm going to switch back to TradingView. Put the 5-minute time frame on. As you can see, here is the buy zone. And it just crept into the buy zone there. So why don't we change tack and wait for a buy alert? Could go either way at the minute. Right, we've got a stop loss. I'll have to go there. Stop loss goes there because that's where the trend line is. But things I'm noticing is that things are very volatile. So I'm thinking better of actually trading this because, as we know, we were in a sell zone there. Things have gone very volatile when the volumes kicked in and the sell zone's back again. This whole area here, and of course there obviously is a sell zone area. So I'm not and the way it's jumping around is just too volatile for my liking. So I'd much rather wait for things to settle down a bit. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine. So have a quick look at the EUR USD. And we're in between. Technically, we were in a buy area there. Let's go down to the minute on the EUR USD. Put the indicator on. And there was the buy there. Respecting that purple line, see the our 462 EMA. So we're not really interested in any trades with that one at the minute. We're back on the 5-minute time frame. Take the indicator off on the 5-minute because it just confuses you. Only use the indicator when you're on the minute. Things are very too volatile on the US 100. So this is where we are at the minute. I didn't take the indicators off, did I? Yeah, it's very volatile, isn't it? It's a very nervy time for investors because of what's going on globally with the wars and whatever. So this sort of action can be sort of understood seeing this, but it usually, to be fair, it usually does go like this the first 10, 15 minutes of stock exchange opening anyway. But the wars and the global um, situations might actually continue this a bit more. Well, on 2,000 units, which is there. If it breezes past that, then maybe a new direction has found its way from the stock exchange opening. And if we've also just on this candle here, we just breezed into the buy zone. So technically the next is a buy, but I'd like it to clear all this shenanigans here, really. And of course, we need the buy alert, of course, which is the next one anyway, because we've got to sell alert. So this is where I want my stop loss to be there, just below that imbalance, assuming that will carry on up, if ever it does. Of course, we've already got the green wave, the green trend. We haven't got the buy alert as yet. But as soon as that pops in, could be going for a buy. See what it looks like on the 5 minute time frame. Yeah, if you notice on the 5 minute time frame, we wanted to get there to swallow that parabolic star. And then that means that high there. So we could be in because of that, if indeed that's what happens. But we are we are going sideways at the moment in a sort of kind of zone. So maybe this is not the right time for things like that to happen. 2,000 pips, 2,000 units, sorry. There. We are on an upward journey though. But I do recognize that we are in a sell zone territory with another big sell zone up here somewhere. So a quick look at the EUR USD. No, that's nowhere, not yet. All right, okay. So we are endeavoring to go higher. See all this sideways action here. could be taking sell orders because this was a sell zone. So as they swallow up the sell orders, obviously that pushes them down a bit. But it looks like they want to go. They do want to go higher with this. That's what it looks like at the moment. But we got to be patient for them to take all the sell orders, which in turn forces price down. And now we couldn't be in the trade for a buy if we wanted to because we'd have to wait for that parallel side to be flipped below. And indeed, we are reactivating that sell. But then we are going into a buy zone area. So I wouldn't be interested in any of this shenanigans at the moment. So, okay, no traders yet. It's fine. See, the EUR USD is a lot more less volatile than what's happening in the with the US 100. Let's have a look at this again. Looks like the sell orders are running out, maybe. Still fancy the buy because down here we were technically in the buy zone, just about in there. Right. So this is going to, if it goes above there, let's force up parallel or down. A buy alert will kick in. We've got 2,000 units distance between entry and stop loss. But we have sideways momentum. Would this be it? Possibly. Governed by the buy alert coming into play. So it's got to get a bit higher, yeah. Right, we've got the buy alert. I want to get a little bit higher. Right, I'm in for a buy. But I recognize the fact that I am in nearly sell zone territory. And consequently, also, if I'd have taken that buy earlier on, be looking forward to maybe getting 2% with that price getting into that buy zone. But it got into there, so buys is the way to be, I think. All right, okay, so let's do this. Side by side. Technically, I'm in the right place because the trend line is there, green. That's the nearest to the entry. So if we can get a bit more volume, if price gets to there, our support and resistance line, I might be out by then. But if I'm not out, I will certainly put my stop loss to my entry. But I also recognize we got imbalance here that needs filling. Depends what they want to do first, as always. And indeed, we can still end up losing 1%, of course. This is always you can have the best trade in the world, or you think it's the best trade in the world, and it can still go against you because price will do what they're going to do. But a 1% loss is nothing. So I keep telling you guys, got to look at the bigger picture. For me, the price gets to there, I'll definitely be either thinking about taking out or putting my stop loss to my entry. No point doing it now because there is imbalance on this candle here, and price is entitled to come back down and Indeed, don't get me wrong, it might carry on down, but it's got a good reason to come down here to sort out this imbalance. But when it's going to do it, that's the thing. But we're in the trade no matter what, and it is what it is. 1% loss or a 2% gain, simple as. Well, there's a sell zone here, so they know the sell orders up here. They might be reaching for those. They might be respecting that support and resistance, or they might come down and sort this imbalance out. Depends which comes first for them, what they want to do first. Right, so I'm definitely putting my there stop loss to entry. I got very close to the take profit, as you know, as you can see there. Very frustratingly, a little bit more pleased, and I'm done. But recognizing price could turn around and before it actually hits my take profit, come down and take me out for nothing at all. Because these are so volatile. Once they go, they go. So it's not an accurate science. If price comes down to fill out this imbalance, they just might carry on down and hit my stop loss anyway. Was down here. So I'm not taking any chances. I'm saving my equity. And if I get taken out for no money at all, that's no big deal. But I would like, having said all that, I would like a little push, a bit more of a push to get my 2%. Happy days. We'll have to wait and see on that, I guess. Recognizing that area there as maybe a significant area why stopping there. Oh, ever so close. Look at that. This is why we don't like watching trades because there's no point. Price is going to do what it's going to do. And now, oh, right, okay. It might turn around again, but then again, like I say, it's no big deal really. It's just such a pity though. What's that? In pip terms, that's probably 2/10 of a pip, but it could still do it. Tests your nerves really, isn't it? And that's why I always say, you know, you're not going to there's no point watching the trade. It's going to do what it's going to do. But I've got a risk-free trade running on this now, so that's fine. But it's still very frustrating the fact that 2/10 of a pip away from take profit of there. Let's hope we get a little bit more of a push, and then we can get our 2%. It would look nice to start off the month like that. And in actual fact, if I get to that area again, I might decide to close then because that could be a significant area. That's why it reached there and it reached there, already 2 points there. So in actual fact, I didn't need to do that because it closed the trade. So that's good. That's a 2% win then. And like I said, I would have got the 2% back there well, I wouldn't have been in the trade personally because I know a lot more volume comes in at 2:30. I'm going to throw the chat open now just in case anybody's got any questions about what they just seen. So if you would like to ask a question, please put it in chat. And like I say, just there, that one, oh no, actually, I felt that would have lost, wouldn't it? Because I went down there. So yeah, that one would have lost. But that, like I said, because that was at 2 o'clock. Yeah, 2 o'clock, and I know volume kicks in at 2:30. See the size of these candles? Small, small, small. As soon as 2:30 comes in, see how big the candles are getting. Got something in chat. That zone is now invalid. Indeed, RC prices just gone through the upper zone. Is that zone now invalid? It is invalid, but you've got to recognize that we are in a sell zone area. It's just that the volume, they want to go higher things. So more caution is in order, obviously, because this is a sell zone area. It's just that they intend to go even higher now. Let's have a look at the 15-minute time frame. Let's see if there's any reasons for this. Right, so let's do this. We've just gone higher than that area there. Are they going to get to here before turning around to these areas here? Or maybe even there? You got to be cautious as always because these are imbalances on the 15-minute time frame. So as soon as you feel able, so if price, so RC says, so if price came back down and all indicators were valid, would it be a valid sell? No, no. If there's no zone there, I wouldn't sell. No. You got to wait for price to get into these areas. But what I'm saying is, we know they've breezed past some sell orders. The intention is, are they going to pick them up later on the way back down again? Or are they going to carry on up at the moment? So if a sell came out now, I wouldn't take it. I'd still be going operating on the buy. Sorry, I wouldn't be I've already operated on the buy. So I'd be waiting for the next price to get into the sell zone up here, and then operating a sell. Not if there was a sell zone. Let's go on the minute time frame. Not if a sell zone was happen to go here. I wouldn't operate on that. I'd wait for it to actually get into a zone itself. Hope you understand that. Steve closed out at 1.5%. Nothing wrong with taking a profit, Steve. Well done. Congratulations. But there we go. Nice 2% profit for me today. Let's Don is on. Don is on. Don's having great success at the moment. He's passed his FTO, passed also. Oh, he's showing me the whether I can actually see that. So I could download that. Hang on. There we go. So this is Don. He's passed his challenge. And that was just using the Academy 55 strategy and zones. Can you confirm or deny that in chat, please, Don? But so therefore, yeah, well done, Don. Let's have a look at some other instances today on the EUR USD, because we got time. Hang on, something in chat. "100%, this platform is outstanding," says Don. Well, thank you very much, Don. Do appreciate it. So he passed his challenge using nothing but the Academy 55 strategy and the zones. Right, so I'm now just going to do a bit of a paper trading on the EUR USD to see whether these worked or not. So we had price getting into the buy zone down here at 5 to 2 today on the EUR USD. So let's get the time machine. Put the time machine up, put it there. And as you can see, price got into the zone. So there we go down to the, please bear with me, go down to the minute. Put the indicators on. So we're looking for the next buy zone, obviously, on the EUR USD. Let's have a look and see what happened. So play it forward. Then we get the buy alert. So let's get the long position tool. Two pips is what the distance we need. Once you get green, green, green. So it'll be 2 pips is there. That's 2 pips distance from price to entry. So indeed, we would have had to go down to there, and the trend line didn't go green till then. So we would have had to raise that ever so slightly to there, which is a 2.4 pips stop loss. Waiting for a 2 to 1, which is there. So there we go. So I'm pleased to report that that one happened at 5 to, right, if I go into the 5-minute time frame, oh, sorry, make it a bit more okay, so there we go. 5-minute time frame. We waited for price to get into the zone, the buy zone there. We go down to the 1 minute. There's that low price there. We wait for a buy. The green trend didn't start till then, so that's indeed when we get into there. And a nice 2 to 1 ensued for the EUR USD. Very nice too. So there we go. So we had a winning trade on the US 100, and I just showed you a paper trade on the Steve Facey. David, do tell, what are you working on? I can see Academy 55 Pro alerts on your screen. Yeah, they've been there for a while, to be fair. It was something that we was going to roll out, but the reality is that sometimes you'll only get 1 or 2 alerts a day, and sometimes you might not get any at all. And we felt that wasn't really good enough. Well, the alerts are good, but it will just cloud what we're doing now. So thanks for being so nosy, Steve. But we're always working on things. Don't worry. We're always working on things in the background. And as soon as we get anything concrete, we will let you guys know, because we want everybody to do like Don did Don did. Do like Don did. Sorry, Don. And pass your challenges with FTMO. But having said all that, then guys, I'm going to be back at 5 to 8 tomorrow morning. Going to be looking at the zones again for the to get into the zones before we take a trade and stuff like that. And incidentally, I do know that people have been asking, price does actually take change. We have a, what's the word? Sorry, I've got an old age moment, brain freeze. There is indeed a directional change happens between 7 and 9 in the morning with the EUR USD. That doesn't change. That's still a relevant, very relevant thing. But because I'm having so much success, and I'm seeing lots of other people having so much success utilizing the zones as well, it would be crazy to do it without the zones. So if you see me trading other times of the day using the zones, please know that the directional bias for the EUR USD between 7 and 9 in the morning is still a thing. It's still very, very relevant. But from that now on, I'm going to be using the additional confirmation of the zones as well, because it'd be just too crazy not to, because of the success we're seeing with the zones. I hope you understand that, but don't be put off if you can only trade between 7 and 9 in the morning, and there is no zones in sight. Directional trading still is in effect with the EUR USD. Steve says, thanks, David. Good session. Is there still work being done for the CTrader platform? That is Steve's baby. I think he is, although he's on holiday. He's still around and about, but very, very not as intensely as he would be for the next week or two. And I'll remember to ask him. And as far as I know, we are still very much looking at doing stuff with the CTrader, but we'll save that more intensely at the end of the month. So thanks for that. And thanks for being here today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 5 to 8. Cheers then. Bye for now.